All right, chat, let's watch this one. The link will be in the description on YouTube. It's a video from Lord Frogmere. So let's check it out.
Pokémon Legends ZA has finally released, and is it worth it? Is it worth being the most expensive Pokemon game ever made? Well, I pushed myself to finish the game, and I can say pretty confidently, no, obviously not. We all knew it wouldn't be. Game Freak can't make a game worth $40, let alone the $550, yes, the number keeps going up, that the game actually costs to get the complete product. And even ignoring the price,
That's crazy. So if you guys are wondering why it's 550, right? So you don't need the Switch 2, but it's recommended. The game is $70. The DLC is going to be $30. To get all the megas in the game, you need to get the DLC, plus you need to unlock them through competitive play. To do that, you need to pay an extra $20 to do online play. So the game alone is going to be 70, 30, 120, and the Switch is like 450 or something like that. So that's where that huge astronomical number comes from.
the game is a disappointment in so many ways. It was so funny hearing people speculate. Sure, the game only takes place in one city, but this is France we're talking about, which has catacombs, so I bet there's a huge underground area like Tears of the Kingdom. Underground area, you can't even go in the buildings in a...
Dude, and also these doors are painted on. They're not actual doors. The windows are painted on. There's no texture. There's a video that's going around TikTok that's viral. You guys check it out. The windows are like literally just on the wall. It's like a transition. Like it's like the lamest. Like this is not textured. This is just painted on.
City, you're expecting above and beyond when Game Freak can't
I hate this mega, dude. I hate this mega so much.
even do the bare minimum. Game Freak's motto is to underpromise and still underdeliver. A small map taking place in a single location with no variety in that one area isn't even complete. I don't consider a city complete when you can't go in the buildings. But enough of that. I'm skipping ahead.
Going in the buildings is literally like the first mission you have to do in Pokemon red and blue and yellow. You have to literally go from Oaks to the next city and go talk to the marketplace and then come back.
Head a bit. We'll have plenty of time to talk about the world. I just want to illustrate to you that this is prevalent throughout the entire game. It's something that you already expect to be kind of underwhelming, and it's somehow worse than that. Not that the game's all bad. I mean, just look at this Mareep. Look at him jump around. Doesn't it bring you joy? It just makes me smile. And they did try a new combat system, and Game Freak hasn't tried something new in decades. So you gotta at least give them some props for that. And the collect them all aspect has been greatly improved.
So I haven't played, but the combat system looks clunky. It doesn't look as clean as it should be, but you know, let me know in the comments if you're watching on YouTube what you think.
You no longer have to catch 700 Starly to complete the Pokédex.
I actually like that game.
Collecting them all something actually fun and interesting to do. That's all I got for the positives. If you were expecting a unbiased review or really go over the pros and the cons, you came to the wrong place. Maybe if the game was $40 and DLC wasn't announced before the game even came out. If you didn't need Nintendo Online and were forced to play a ranked mode that I promise you will be terrible to unlock content that is already in the game, maybe I'd be a little more charitable.
See, I almost bought this game, guys. I knew it was like with Scarlet and Violet. I was like, oh no, I know I'm gonna hate this game, but I bought it anyways, like a dummy. I bought Scarlet and Violet and I hated it. I didn't even beat it. I didn't beat it. I just despised it so much. It ran terribly. It just was a bad Pokemon game in my opinion. And then with this one, I was like, I'm not buying this crap. I'm not doing it again. And then the time came and I said, oh, I want to buy it because I've never skipped a Pokemon game, blah, blah. I'm an addict. I'm an addict. And when I heard that DLC stuff, dude, I was just like, I'm done. I'm done.
Believe it or not, I wanted to like this game. I love Pokemon. I've played every Pokemon game, and I've really only disliked one of them. In as much as the money-grubbing stuff bothers me, I didn't really interact with any of it. I'm not buying the DLC. I played the Switch 1 version of the game, and I don't have Nintendo Online. So I gave it a real honest try to like it, and I did at first. But the more I played the game, the more I grew to hate it. The more tired I am of being disappointed by everything Game Freak makes. From a lack of ambition, from a lack of effort, it's just lacking. Everything they make is lacking. Every time you make a video criticizing Nintendo or Pokemon, there are always people being like, oh, it's the Nintendo fanboys, the Pokemon fanboys.
And that's what pisses me off the most. It's like, I'm not gonna sit here and maybe I am. I'm not gonna sit here and like tell you what you should and shouldn't do. You know, I do think my opinion might be right, but I'm not gonna sit here and hate on you. But if you have anything negative to say about this game, they're just saying you're a hater. You're a hater. It's like, nah, dude, nah, dog. I like this game probably before you did. Like, I've liked every single game. I spent way too much money on the TCG. I have graded cards right back there. I'm sure you can see them back there. I love Pokemon, dude. Pokemon, I have literally my family tell me, aren't you too old for Pokemon? Like, I love Pokemon. But this ain't it, dude. This ain't it.
Gonna get you. These aren't fans. A fan of something loves it. If you love Pokemon, why are you okay with it being dumpstered on constantly?
That's the point right there. If you love Pokemon, that's a great point that he just made. If you love Pokemon, dude, how are you okay with this?
I'm sick and tired of a billion-dollar franchise being treated like it's made by some small indie company while they charge us as much as they possibly can for what is supposed to be a spin-off. $70 game, $30 DLC, $20 Switch Online, $450 console just to play the full game and have it run properly. But that's enough preamble. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and it's time to give you 10,000 reasons why this game isn't worth $70. It's not worth $80, and it's definitely not worth $500 to get the full experience. In fact, by the end of this, I'd be surprised if you wanted to play it for free. Let's talk about the world first. Something that people are rightfully concerned about, that the entire map is just one city. And all of your fears have been realized, and probably worse, because it's a city where all the doors are painted on. Aside from a handful of story locations and some battle cafes, which are basically empty, you cannot enter any buildings, not even stores. You remember every other video game ever made? You enter a store.
Dude, this video is already really fire. This video's I just can't believe this stuff, dude. I hate it, dude. I hate this. I hate this because I want to love it. But I just, it's so infuriating.
Counter, you buy some stuff, a couple NPCs are around, maybe they have useful information, maybe give you an item, maybe add a little flavor to the world. Nope, nothing. You get a menu. Modeling the inside of a building is far too much effort in a game that has one location. One! The game released over a decade ago with an entire region has a more believable city than the game that is only about this city. And I don't know what people were smoking to think the game would have catacombs. You get 2 underground areas. 2, which are just a series of hallways. Maybe it has some engaging puzzles, maybe platforming challenges, maybe a bunch of danger.
Like, just think about it. Just do a quick, just close your eyes and just let me picture this for you. If you've ever been to San Francisco, I'm basically going to describe San Francisco. You have a Pokemon City. If you want to do the stupid one city town, you have this Pokemon City. You're allowed to go on the outskirts. Like, let's think Skyrim, right? Or like Oblivion. We just all played Oblivion for the remastered. You have the central Imperial City. Around it, there's literally farms you could go and pick fruit on. Let's just say we have this city here for Pokemon, and there's farms outside. There's grass. There's a bridge that takes you to a forest across the way. There's the ocean right there that's underneath you. You have access to the beach. You have access to a forest right next to the city. You have access to the farmland right there. You have a sewer system that goes throughout the whole entire city that has, like, where the Elite Four, the Team Rocket or whatever the bad guys in this game is, that are in the sewers and stuff. You have specific Pokemon that are in the sewers. You give life to the sewer system. Then you have, like, skyscrapers. You have like I said, you have that forest you go into. You have a little island like a little Alcatraz little lake within the bay. So when you're in that city, you could take a boat onto this Alcatraz island, and maybe there's rare Pokemon over there. Maybe you could actually swim in the game. There's like a diving lesson where you could dive into the water and go into the ocean and find water Pokemon. Maybe there's an underground cave in that water Pokemon area. Dude, there's just so much you could have done to make this actually work. Like, yes, it's one stupid city, but we could have made it work.
Dangerous wild Pokemon you have to dodge past. No, nothing. A series of hallways you run through. There you go. There are those catacombs everyone was so excited about. It's just a sewer, you know, where this game belongs. So given the entire world is just the surface of one city, not including the insides of any of the buildings, what could possibly make exploring this world interesting? Nothing. The answer is nothing. They have done nothing to add variety to a single location. The city rooftops you explore from the beginning of the game is exactly the same as the one you're doing at the very end. There is no meaningful difference through any of it. You don't even get new movement abilities. You get one. You know, in the last game, you could fly, you could...
See, that was... I hated this stupid one, but the flying one and Arceus and stuff, great. I love Arceus. I really didn't like this stupid dog. This legendary
all this
bike
cool
thing.
Stuff. Now you get one midair jump, and you can only do it while falling. So it's not even like a double jump. That's it. So the whole game is just this, what you're seeing right now. Do you see what I'm saying? When the game is interesting for 3 hours maybe, and then it gets real old real fast. But of course, the variety comes from the wild areas. The wild areas are sectioned off city blocks or parks where wild Pokemon can be caught and attack you. Actually, they can do that through the rest of the city too, but they're more common here. So surely there must be some variety there. No, there isn't. It's just more city blocks or a small park. That's the entire variety. The most different it gets is...
Like, don't they know that a Pokemon game is literally... The original games, we literally went into the grass to willingly get jumped? Like, that's the point. Like, watch out for the grass. Don't go in the grass. It's cool, dude. I got a Pokemon. Okay, go get jumped. Like, don't they understand that? Like, that they have like this much grass, like a little square of grass is just crazy to me. It's just absolutely nuts.
One wild area, just one, has some snow. Isn't that exciting? A regular game has you going from snowy mountaintop to swamp to cave to forest. What do you get in this? You get park or rooftop. That's the whole game. 20 hours. Park, rooftop, one sewer section. It's a joke. So the world itself is boring, but who cares? What about the things that you do in that world? Maybe that's cool. Of course not. You have your Ubisoft collectibles, like screws that you get for completing platforming challenges, and I'm using the term platforming really loosely, which you can use to get an EXP boost, maybe get resources faster, catch Pokemon easier, because the game wasn't...
Like, as a fan, you're watching this, right? You're watching this video, you're a fan of Pokemon, you love Pokemon. I just don't know how you could not be upset by this. Like, a spin-off or not, like, dude, it's the brand. The brand is like, look at this window. Look at this window. This is a window. That's a balcony. That's a rail. That's a hand. Look at this. This is a window. This is a balcony rail. It's flat. All of it is flat. How do we...
Easy enough already. You also have crystals all over that you have to make your Pokemon use moves on them to break them, which slows down the pacing of the game. So you need to collect a whole lot of them to get some of the Mega Stones. I guess finding TMs is pretty cool, but in order for the finding to be fun, the exploring has to be fun, which exploring the exact same copy-pasted rooftop 500 times is not fun. And the funny thing is, I could forgive all of this if at least moving around was fun. But no, you get nothing. No bike, no roller skates, remember those? No riding Pokemon, nothing. Just run around, and the worst...
And that's the wild thing. They sued Power World for riding, and you don't even have it in this game.
double jump you've ever seen. Scarlet and Violet could get away with having a barren, empty world because at least it was fun to move around. You could run real fast and jump real high and fly. It was fun to move around. Here you get nothing, because if they gave you anything, you'd realize how small, uninteresting, and lame the world is. I mean, how could you have all these platforming challenges if you could jump and fly? Who wants to climb buildings? It's not like that's been in every game ever. All right, so it's not fun to explore, not really anything cool to find. What about the side quests? Well, the game has a ton of side quests, at least 100, maybe more, but unsurprisingly, when there's that many of them, they're real bad. They're about as lazy as they could possibly get. There are only 3 side quests. It's Battle Guy, Go Walk Over There, or Show Me Pokemon. And because
and then you have people on X and stuff talking about how good I saw. Oh my god. You see people on X saying this is the best game in the franchise. I just don't understand why people are so angry. They watch one YouTube video and they won't even play this. It's so sad. This is the best. I just can't, dude. Like the cope, the Unreal, like
it's a Game Freak.
It literally makes me angry.
Much worse than it sounds. It's watch a cutscene, battle Guy who has 3 Clefairy that know only metronome, so it's impossible to lose, then watch another cutscene and get rewarded with basically nothing. And that's about half. Maybe half of the side quest is just battle person who has 1 Pokemon, maybe 2, impossible to lose, and get rewarded with nothing. It's money, which is worthless in this game. You get an insane amount of it, or it's a TM you don't need, or it's berries. End game missions. In fact, some of these side quests are post-game, and you get berries as the reward. And these are the better side quests. How about watch a cutscene, follow the Pokemon, watch another cutscene, follow the...
Now compare this to Digimon. If you played the new Digimon, compare this to Digimon. It's just night and day. It's like, these are freaking windows, dude. This is a balcony. Dude, I'm gonna have a heart attack.
Them again, watch another cutscene, follow them again, and it's not like you're doing anything, you're just walking there. Maybe there's a jump, which all culminates into a battle with a singular wild Pokemon. Isn't that incredible? And these are multiple. There are multiple side quests that are just this. And then finally, a bunch of missions that are just, hey, do you have every color of Floette? Cool, good job, thumbs up. And I'd say those 3 things are like 90% of the side.
$550, guys. Fucking wild.
Side missions. And everything in between isn't better, it's worse. Like, how about just use a move on this stationary object? Good job, you did it. That was worth the multiple cutscenes. I keep emphasizing the cutscene part because these honestly wouldn't be that egregious if it wasn't for the constant pausing. You get 30 seconds of gameplay where you completely obliterate them and then 2 minutes of pauses. The best side quest is one I did in the very beginning, and it's just a go walk over there quest. But at least it's a sort of hidden area, and as a reward, you get a shiny Marie, and I love Marie. That's the bar, by the way. The bar the rest of the quests can't meet. The expectations, they were just so low, and yet somehow too high. And that's the game world. Boring, lacks variety, nothing to see or find, not fun to traverse, and it's everything you should have expected and worse. Now, before we get to the gameplay, I want to talk...
Like, I was hyped for this game when it was first announced. I thought ZA was gonna revolve around like Zygarde. Like I thought something with a legendary Pokemon was gonna be the ZA. There was gonna be something about it, something about it. And then the more and more things were leaked, the more and more trailers, the more and more we got. I was just like, no, I can't. No, are you? No. And now we're living it. Like the nightmare is here. We're living in a Pokemon nightmare. I just can't believe this crap, dude. It makes me angry. It really drives me crazy. No, it's not like just a crash out, dude. It's like
about the story just a little bit. No spoilers yet. Not that the game really has a story to spoil, but if you really don't want to hear anything about it, use the timestamps to skip this section. Now, you're a part of a crew of a couple dweebos, and the leader of your crew is in debt to a loan shark. And I'm talking a real loan shark. Your team leader likes to help people out around the city, helped one of the loan sharks, and as a reward, she got offered a loan to make a video advertisement for the hotel you guys stay at. And in the hidden fine print, they specifically say, it's tiny text she could not read. It has an...
So, greed is what killed this game in real life, and greed is the enemy in the game? Is this like a slap in the... Are they doing this on purpose to like say, haha, we stole your money? Is that what this is? Is that what this is?
Insane interest rate where this 100,000 Poké-Dollar loan accrued 1 million Poké-Dollars in interest over the course of a couple days. Not years, days. So you go to the loan sharks because you got to help your friend out, and they put you into indentured servitude. You have to do their bidding to pay off not the loan, just the interest.
So they make you a slave? Dude, this is the first time I've heard about the actual stupid story. You are literally a slave? Pokemon makes you a... What is this, man?
And it's potentially forever. They make it clear that you might have to work for them forever. It's however long they want you to work. So in this Pokemon game, there are creditors who enslave you through predatory loans. And guess what? They're the good guys. Yes, the predatory loan sharks are good guys. The heroes of the game. How, you ask? Well, of course, the indentured servitude, the...
This game is making a full circle, dude. Nintendo is literally making a game so you could not hate them. This is what this is about. They're trying to make you like bankers and big banks and loans and the propaganda, bro.
Literal slavery because you are not paid, and it is not clear when, if ever, the debt would ever be repaid, is actually community service. They're making you do good things. Can we talk about for just a second how insane this is? That this is actual propaganda? That they're trying to sell creditors, the most evil people on the planet, who would drown you in the liquefied remains of your...
Dude, if I lived in that world and that happened, my freaking Gengar right now, he would be doing a... They wouldn't exist anymore, that's all I gotta say.
Entire family for 4 cents?
Shadow Ball, bro.
That tricking and then enslaving someone over a mountain of debt is righteous because they're doing it for the right reasons. I know I say Nintendo is evil, and it's a bit of an exaggeration, a good YouTube thumbnail. This is actually evil. An innumerable number of human lives have been destroyed under the weight of debt and interest. And they're teaching children. This is a children's game. They're like, Lil Timmy, the creditor's a good guy. I know you lost your house and you're living on the street now, but that investment banker really needed that 10% so that he could make the...
Dude, what is this? What is this? He's making great points, bro. What is going on? I just can't. Oh, you know the Bible says you're not allowed to do interest, right? The Bible says interest is evil.
A better place. When I said I was going to teach the kids about the Federal Reserve, they were supposed to be the bad guys. Anyway, I just think it's a bit silly that the giant evil mega corporation is trying to teach our children that debt collectors are good and that tricking someone into going into debt is super cool and fun. Now for the slightly bigger spoilers. Not that I'm spoiling anything that happens. Is it even a spoiler to say what doesn't happen? The whole plot of the game is, ooh, rogue mega evolution and ooh, wild Pokemon going crazy. And there's a mega corporation that's setting up the wild zones to keep in all of these wild Pokemon. and they're in control of Lumiose Tower, which no one can enter and is emitting strange energy. And as a player, you're immediately like, oh, they're evil, right? The mega corporation controls everything, creates wild areas throughout the city where you take an apartment complex and a small business, and it is now surrounded by dangerous Pokemon that attack you on sight. You now have to fight for your life just to go home. So clearly these guys must be evil, right? Nope, they're not evil either. Nobody's evil. The game does not have an evil team, doesn't even have any bad guys. There are no villains in this game. This is what I'm talking about, where I'm saying the game might as well not have a story. The villain of the game, if you call it.
I've seen Pokemon shills talking about this story was the most beautiful story they've ever played in Pokemon. That they actually cried at the end of the game. And I thought that was only being said because if you play Digimon, it was actually a beautiful story. I like teared up at the end of the game. Like I was like, dude, this is a beautiful story. This is sad, blah, blah, blah. But these people, after hearing this, like before when I saw those posts, I was like, ugh, gross. Like, ugh, I can't believe these people. What's wrong with these people? Now, after hearing what the actual story is, like you're literally a slave to debt, and they're crying over that. What's going on with this world, dude?
That is just big old guy made a defense structure for the evil team back in Gen 6, and now it's going crazy. So you have to go stop it. That's it. No evil team, no grand plan, no ideals fighting against each other, nothing. Everyone's a good guy. Riveting. I just don't see why Nintendo and Game Freak would make the giant mega corporation and debt collectors good guys. Really makes you think, huh? It's funny because they even mock you in the game. There's a crowd of people being like, I know you guys are behind all of the rogue mega evolution. I know you guys are behind this. And you have to fight these people off. And I'm like, surely there must be a twist. Nope, no twist.
So they're trying to teach you that protesting is evil. If you dude, what is this socialism, this commie game, dude, this communistic game? Mike, slavery is good. Debt is good. Shark loans are good. Protesting against evil is bad.
Big evil mega corporation is a good guy. You will pay $70 for the game. You will pay $30 for the DLC. You will pay $20 for Switch Online, and you will pay $450 for the new console. We're the good guys. You're evil for questioning us. Whatever. No more spoilers. Spoiler time over. On to the gameplay. Now, the big selling point of ZA is the real-time combat, and I hate it. I really don't like it. It's not egregious, but it's really just spam all your attacks to win, which wouldn't be too bad because the animations are pretty cool, but it's just so jank. The real problem is you can't order your Pokemon to move around without using a move, and even then it's an invisible targeting reticle, so you'll use a move like Surf, which targets the enemy Pokemon, no problem. The attack will always come from and go to exactly where you expect. But then you use a move like Psychic, which actually targets a few feet in front of you, meaning the Pokemon who just surfed through someone now has to run all the way back to you to then start charging the attack, and only once that's done do they finally just attack the enemy. On its own, this makes the combat feel sluggish because it's wait for the move to charge, use the move, wait for your Pokemon to run off somewhere to then charge another move. What's even worse is fainting because your Pokemon would have won and attacked faster, but decided to do a little run instead. It's not like it matters that much because, again, you're not really...
So they clearly did this for Power World, right? But Power World, you're not commanding your mons. Like, the monsters are doing their own AI attacks. Like, it's AI generated. They're AI thinking. It's hard to have this control over them. Like, you have to have them have their own free will. Maybe you could like push the button and it like persuades them to use that move, but they have to have free will if you want it to be like Power World. And this just like, I've heard so many people saying it is clunky, it is slow, it it makes you feel like you're not playing the Pokemon game. It defeats the purpose of like you interacting with them in the games. You literally command your Pokemon what to do, and then the dodging and stuff like that. That's all happens in the show. But like in the anime, they say Pikachu, Thunderbolt, dodge that Pikachu. He'll dodge it, then he'll Thunderbolt. Then sometimes he'll just do like his own quick like dodge move and like a tail whip or something, like an iron tail or something. They'll give the command, but then the Pokemon has the ultimate like autonomy. This is just not it, dude. They try to do something different. Okay, that's great, but that's not even one of the biggest. This battle system is not even the biggest concern. The biggest gripe. It's the money. Now the story. It's these windows. These windows. Like, what are these windows, dude? It's just
losing any of these fights anyway, but it just feels bad when half the time you're not actually attacking, you're either running around or charging. What makes it worse, and it is something they had to do, is when your Pokemon switch in, they do a big cry, because you can dodge an attack by switching, so it'd be kind of unfair if you could immediately act after that. But this also occurs when your Pokemon is fainted, meaning you just lost a Pokemon, you throw in a new one, and they immediately get a free hit on you. It's all just intentionally unresponsive. I want to hit the button and then something happened. I don't care what you have to do to make that occur, but that's what every other game does, and I like it that way. I hit the button, something happens immediately, not later, now. It also doesn't help that the Pokemon can just get stuck on stuff. Using Talonflame was a nightmare. It got stuck on everything, and it just won't attack, because if it can't make it to the other Pokemon, it just won't do anything. Also, your attacks can get stuck on lips. Like a tiny little lip on the ground can block your attack, and now you just did 0 damage and they hit you. I feel like I'm complaining about nothing though, because Mega Evolution is so OP, none of this matters. One Mega can usually sweep an entire team, because the game has a Mega Bar now. As you deal damage, you get more points in your bar. When it's full, you can Mega Evolve. You can also use points in your bar to use plus moves, which just make your moves do more damage. All Megas only use plus moves, meaning not only do you get the huge stat boost, but all of your moves deal more damage too. It's insanely overpowered. You can sweep entire teams with just your Mega, and because it's a bar that fills over time, you can Mega multiple times in one fight, and this is a cool part of the game. A big problem with Mega Evolution is Megas are super cool, and I want only Megas, but there's no reason to ever have more than one. But now you can.
Well, the Megas now too. Also, the design of most of these Megas now. Like, I hate to be this guy who's just so angry and upset about this, but man, I love the franchise, and Megas were one of the coolest things I thought. Like, and they're just kind of ruined now. There's like Dragonite is so stupid. Starmie is just so stupid. A lot of these Megas are just so stupid now. Like, this is a Mega, right? This is a Mega. He puts on a freaking hoodie. Like, it's so stupid.
Mega Evolve multiple times. Mega Evolutions are insanely OP, so you're incentivized to have a team of all Megas, which is cool. I like Megas. It's also important to have a team of all Megas for the boss battles. Periodically through the game, you're going to have to fight a rogue Mega, and that means they're giant for some reason and have 1,000,000 health, and they only take real damage from plus moves. And Megas are by far the most efficient way of using plus moves. So you're going to want a Mega that is super effective on the boss, or it's going to take a year. I liked these battles at first, and I slowly grew to hate them more and more as the game went on. At first, it's like, oh, it's cool. I have to like maneuver my Pokemon to try and get them to dodge the moves because they follow you, sorta. But at a certain point, you realize they will never feint your Pokemon. Instead, they target near.
Dude, this Starmie literally is like nightmare fuel for me. It reminds me of It too. If you saw that movie, It, the scary movie, where he's an old lady and he's running around. This is what it reminds me of, dude. It's like literally gives me nightmares. This Starmie.
Nearly exclusively you, so it's a terrible Dark Souls boss fight where they
Look at the way it
spam the
runs.
same move over and over and over and over again, while your Pokemon does 2 damage to them, and the fight takes an hour, and you can't dodge while ordering your Pokemon around. So if you want to get that little extra damage in, and you take too many hits, you have to start the whole fight over again. Not your Pokemon, you, the trainer, gets hit too many times. You have to start the whole fight over again. And this is a Pokemon baby game we're talking about. If you just don't attack and you only focus on dodging, you will never get hit ever. The only reason you lose these fights is because they take so long and you're trying to speed them up, and because of that you get hit too many times and now you have to start over. I never lost a Pokemon battle one time, but my trainer died a bunch of times. It's extremely annoying trying to order your Pokemon around who just run around wherever they want, charge up their moves, really sluggish and annoying, while trying to dodge giant AoE attacks that come from everywhere. I'm just trying to pass through, dude. I want to catch a Bagon. Leave me alone, Salamence. I'm tired of it. I don't like it. It's not fun. I know some people think it's neat, but I'd rather just play Dark Souls if I wanted to play Dark Souls. I play Pokemon to play Pokemon. The Pokemon should fight the other Pokemon, not me. Now, maybe this would be more interesting if you had more interesting movement, you know, like roller skates, that thing that Gen 6 was known for. No, you get one dodge that you can use sometimes, as long as you're not ordering your Pokemon to do something, which you're doing 99% of the time. Now, you don't actually have to worry about getting hit in the regular Pokemon battles, which is what you'll be doing most of the time. The actual gameplay loop of the game is at night. You have to battle a bunch of people to rank up in the ZA tournament. You go from Z to A, and every time
When I found out that the ZA meant a tournament, dude, I was just like, oh my god, that's stupid. Like, I thought it was gonna be the legendary Pokemon, something revolving around him. Like, you go from A to Z. Oh my god.
you want to
Who
rank
came up with that idea? Woohoo!
up, you have to do a boss trainer battle, you know, like a gym leader. But wow, that's a lot of gym leaders, and you have to battle a bunch of trainers just to get the right to then rank up. Now, you can get these points pretty fast, given you can sneak up in one shot to start a fight with a trainer that probably only has 3 Pokemon to begin with. I already don't like having a bunch of filler battles, but it's pretty pathetic that even at the very end of the game, you're fighting trainers with like 3 Pokemon, and really it's 2 because you're one-shotting the first member of their party before they even get to start. I don't know who thought stealth mechanics in a Pokemon game is a good idea, but either way, that's a lot of gym leaders. Z to A, that's insane. Now, of course, it's a trick. This is a Pokemon game. Remember, under promise and under deliver. Sure, you go from Z to Y, but then you jump from V to F. Yeah, so the vast majority you're just skipping through. The game like tricks you into being like, wow, this game's gonna be pretty long. Nope, sorry. The game...
I was literally just about to say, well, at least the people who love this game, with the few, whoever loves this game, you're gonna have a lot of content at least. This just gets worse and worse.
Really would have a great gameplay loop if it was just a better game where during the day you explore, then at night you fight a bunch of Pokemon battles, and then you conclude the day with a boss battle, and then you do that all the way up until A rank and the game's over. Too bad the exploration sucks because the world is bad, the battling isn't so great either, and I guess they recognize this. That's why you skip most of the letters, and most of the game is, oh, you have a placement match, it's time to fight the boss to rank up to the next letter, but now we have to do some story stuff to go find that person. It's weird because it's not like you don't have a bunch of boss trainer battles, because it'll be like, okay, we have to go fight this guy, but first we have to do this boss battle against this trainer. I feel like they originally planned for you having to go through all of the letters, but they realized it'd just be way too much padding, which it wouldn't have to be padding if they didn't make all of the regular trainer fights a joke. I know at this point I'm just complaining to complain, but there's also way too many refights. You will fight a trainer and then have to fight that same trainer again 10 minutes later. It's like, I've trained, it's time for a rematch. I just saw you. Whatever, enough of the gameplay. It's time to talk about what everyone really cares about, or me, which is the new Megas, and why do they look so bad? What do they do? And why do I kind of like them? I don't know why people feel the need to...
Dude, I hate most of the Megas, and we'll go through them. I'll tell you which ones I like. If I don't say anything, it means I hate it.
defend garbage, that they'll show a mega, everyone will be like, wow, that looks really terrible, and then a bunch of people will come out of nowhere and be like, actually I like it a lot, and now all of a sudden that's me. I think I got brain damage. Starmie is one of my favorite Pokemon. I love him. And then I saw the picture of the mega and I'm like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. Why have they done this to my boy? But after fighting him as a boss, I'm like, I think I actually love this guy. He's awesome. Just look at him run. Imagine that running.
Dude, that running, I'm telling you, watch it too, and you'll never see this the same. It's just creepy.
At you. Imagine the true fear you would feel. There's just something alluring about it. I don't know. Also, Mega Scrafty, it just speaks to me. He's got a hoodie and it's white. Now, I'm not saying I like them all. In fact, some of them are some of the worst things I've ever seen. Mega Clefable, horrible. Mega Excadrill, look what they...
You know, it's funny, the Clefable, I actually don't mind the Clefable.
They did to my boy. How does
that
he move? In Mega Feraligatr, it...
Shit.
Is a toilet. They just made him a toilet. Why? But I think the laziest one is Mega Skarmory. I love Skarmory, but they're just like, all right, he's yellow now and his feet are real big. Can they at least try like a little bit? Like, come on. Whatever. There'll be some guy who'll be like, that's my favorite. I love the color yellow. I eat mustard. I don't know, man. I think that's all I got. Don't buy this game. It's not good. It's just disappointing. Aren't you tired of disappointments? They made one pleasant surprise, and they've taken that goodwill and are using it to milk their audience completely dry of all the money they could possibly take for a product that is low effort, low imagination, has no ambition. They tried one new thing and sacrificed everything else for it, and it's not good. Making a Pokemon game, making an open world game that takes place in one area with no variety was never going to be a good idea. It was never going to work. This game was a failure at the planning stages. Exploring one city is already not that interesting, but a city where you can't even go in the buildings with no movement abilities? Ignoring the DLC, ignoring the required online, ignoring the $10 upgrade. The game's still not good. It's not worth it. Maybe for $40. And if you skip this part, it'll be confusing, but trying to convince kids that creditors and evil corporations are actually good guys, the game is mocking you for buying it. Now, I haven't discussed performance.
That's what I was saying, dude. Are they like literally just laughing at us? Is this like a slap in the face? That's literally what I said in the beginning, I think, right? Like, it's, you know, they probably made a lot of money on this game. I haven't seen any numbers yet. I'm excited to see the numbers. I've seen a lot of people hating on this, more than I thought would be hating on this. Seems like the majority of people are saying this is shit. They're not going to try it. They're going to skip it. I want to see those numbers. But whatever those numbers are, I know in my heart of hearts, heart in the cards, that if they would have given us an actual good game, whatever those numbers are, it would be doubled. For sure. For sure. No doubt about it. But we get this freaking slop, dude.
At all, because I played this on Switch 1, which obviously isn't ideal, and my Switch console is really weird, but even with all of that, the game ran perfectly fine. I honestly had no trouble. Being stuck at 30 FPS, kind of lame, but I don't really care. Now, I don't think that suddenly makes the game worth buying. It's not impressive to have a game that runs without a ton of glitches and bugs, but it is surprising for a Pokemon game. Anyway, that's the review. Unfortunately, there is no twist at the end. I genuinely was pushing myself to finish this game. Not a fan. Anyway, bye.
Bro. It's sad. It's absolutely sad. There's not much more to say. All I gotta say is Gen 10, I'm still open to playing that one. I'm still probably gonna buy it. But that will be my last game. If it is this bad, this insulting, I'm done with the franchise. Which is extremely sad because I've been playing Pokemon since the beginning. I remember getting a Costco bundle that had a Game Boy, Pokemon Yellow, and the Pokemon Yellow strategy guide. Those were the good days. That's when Pokemon fans were eating really, really well. So make sure you guys like and subscribe. Check out this